Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. Mock Draft 1.0 is officially here.
It's officially draft season.
This is my brother's mock draft. I'm going to be taking a look. I haven't seen the full draft yet, and so we're doing a little slow reveal. This is like the best way we decided to do this. Appreciate y'all rocking with us. Hit that subscribe button if you like the content, and let's get into this. Dill, Jacksonville, Evan Neal 1. I like it. It's a common spot for Neal to go.
It's a square pick. I mean, everyone's saying it.
Chalky.
So I'll just jump on board.
Evan Neal's plus 300 on DraftKings to go first round. I'm starting to think that a sprinkle might be
tantalizing.
Going to number 2, it's got to be Hutch, right? I got Tyrell down here. Hutch to the Lions. That's just chalk. My brother's a chalk machine to start.
No, that's Michigan man. That's not chalk.
No, that's a good pick.
It's called a hard pick.
Do the Texans trade out here? They do. So Philly gives up you said the first 2 rounds?
That's like, again, I don't know, like that's how I mocked it for this, but I said 15 and 16. Jump up and get Thibodeau. I think Thibodeau is arguably the second best player, arguably the first, I should say. Not could be the best player in this draft. And it's a position of need, and I just don't think you come along these pass rushers that often in your world. And Philly is not a bad team. I think they're close enough where it makes sense for them to let's see what we can do in this window with Hurts on a rookie deal, especially if they're going to end up sticking with him. And they have a zillion picks, so
they have the ammo to do it. They have the ammo to do it, and they're probably getting this third pick at a bargain, right? I mean, this third pick is not what it would be worth in other drafts.
The Texans should want out of it.
The Texans should want out of it, and it should be a little bit of a cheap asking price because there's no stud quarterback at 3 that people would be trading up for.
It's very hard to conjure up a trade to this pick. Yep.
I don't hate that trade one bit. I mean, I think Philly has a lot of positions not a ton of positions to address, but having 3 first-round picks in the top 20 is intriguing. But they go up and get arguably what you said, the first overall prospect. Moving on, Jets go Hamilton, blue chip. We've been talking about Derek Stingley here. I think Hamilton is the guy who has he's a can't miss guy. He's just, you can do whatever you want with him on defense. Kind of a unicorn. Yep, I like that pick. Going on to the Giants, they get Cross, OT1 or OT2 on the Rock Boys, just behind Evan Neal. Hey, Andrew Thomas, Charles Cross, 2 buck-end tackles. I like to pick. I think a lot of people go with Kevin Kwanu here. I like Charles Cross.
That's like, I think that's I wouldn't quibble either way. Cross is the pro. He seems like the more pro ready right now.
And he's the best pass protector in the game. I mean, he's the best pass protector in the class. Evan Neal's probably the most rounded out guy. And then you got a Kevin Kwanu who's kind of the road grader. Carolina, they go get a Kevin Kwanu. They've been searching for a left tackle for a while. They go get a guy who I think he's very promising. I think he's going to figure out the pass pro. I mean, it was pretty good. Just the feet maybe concern you a little bit at the next level, but this dude's a good prospect.
Yeah, I'm just mocking New York and Carolina, both of them going, and whoever picks one.
You think both tackles will be off by the first 6 picks? All right, next pick. Giants at 7. Jermaine Johnson, misspelled Jermaine, but that's fine. I'll overlook it. Jermaine Johnson is we're high on this guy. I mean, he's our edge 3 in front of George Karlaftis. Think he's a more complete guy who can win on the edge, can win with bend and burst, but also can convert that speed to power real quick too. George Karlaftis, maybe a little bit one-dimensional, just kind of a power rusher, which is effective. That being said, you might want to go with the guy who has just the more all-around traits to.
So yeah, I don't like you when we talk Jermaine Johnson. I'm not sure he's that less powerful than Carl. I mean, he's a hammer. He was crushing guys on Notre Dame, crushing guys on Miami.
Oh, he is a hammer. Oh yeah, I love this guy.
He's no I just think he's a more well-rounded prospect, and Karlaftis is much better in any way, I don't think, than Jermaine. and definitely lacks the athleticism.
Atlantic, go get Derek Stingley. Pair him up with AJ Terrell, who had a great second year. You all of a sudden have like two of the best young DBs in the league. Obviously, the Rock Boys, if you're a fan of the show, know we're high on Derek Stingley. Dude's going to be just really good. If you watch the true freshman film from LSU, dude's a stud. You start in my mind, you start getting worried about the prospect if he's like for some reason doesn't work out at the combine and then still continues to show some health concerns. That's when you might start maybe talking about Sauce Gardner as CB1. That being said, right now, Stingley CB1, Falcons go get him in the top 10. Again, another guy we have a top 5 grade on the big board. Dallas trades up. Why?
I mean, Jerry Jones, what did he say? He can't sleep at night. He's hearing howling in his head. He wants the Super Bowl bad. The linebacker playing Dallas is an absolute joke. I don't think either Lloyd or N'Kobe makes it to them at 24. I didn't have this trade initially. I mocked it out. I had both them going inside the top 20, so I was like, all right. I don't know who Denver's gonna pick because like I'll join you on the Aaron Rodgers to Denver hype train. So if they're gonna end up with Rodgers, where are they gonna go here? Like what's the value?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, if I'm Dallas, I think you make a really good point as like a predictive mock. Jerry Jones, he's gonna want to make moves.
He's a move maker for sure.
Trading up to the top 10 to go get a linebacker is questionable in my mind. That being said, I wouldn't put it past Jerry Jones. And pairing up N'Kobe Dean and Micah Parsons, man, that is some speed, some power, some instincts at that linebacker spot. Maybe giving you another chance to kind of kick Micah out to the edge where I think he could really thrive in the NFL. If
I thought Devin Lloyd could get to 24, I wouldn't even think to do this. I don't see it happening.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't know.
That's
an aggressive move. I don't know, man. But if I'm trading up here, like I'm thinking more about like Karlaftis.
You'll be disgusted where I have Karlaftis then, just as a little teaser.
All right, let's see. We're moving on to 10. The New York Jets go get David Ojabo.
Yeah.
Over George Karlaftis.
David Ojabo. I saw a little video of him. It was like one of the workout videos, and it flashed you back. Like, man, this guy is on a different plane than these other dudes.
You're taking my method. Just look at prospects workout videos and just stack them as they look working out. I like it.
He also looks like he's like bulking because he looked a little heavier.
He needs to do that, which is interesting.
Is he gonna convert it all into mass? And in like, if he fills himself out, gets up to like 255, 260, and I think he'll still be a freak athlete at that weight because he's got a lot of room to grow. So
yeah, he's got plenty of frame to
know. Fill. I was wondering. I just saw it. I was like, this guy, he's got everything you want in an edge rusher. He's got like athleticism, like he's a cornerback, and
highest ceiling in the draft. Highest ceiling in the draft.
You'd say
you're taking my method with like just watching guys work out, and I normally do that in fantasy. I'd just be like, who's putting in the work in the summer and draft him on my fantasy team.
Le'Veon Bell's boxing.
Yeah, it hasn't worked. Odell got me good. I've been burned a couple times by this, but Ojabo, he's a different guy. Moving on to the Commanders. Malik Willis, I love the pick. I mean, I don't like.
This is you've sold me here.
You need to. You need to get Taylor. It just can't have Taylor Heineke back out there. It's just like because the offense has weapons. Like it's actually a pretty talented football team, especially on the defense side of the ball. The offense has weapons. Gibson, Terry McLaurin, traded for Curtis Samuel, maybe Diami Brown, Logan Thomas at tight end. Like this is it's a good team that just like you can't do what you want it to because Taylor Heineke is at quarterback. Malik Willis brings a whole nother world of traits. Attributes. Just you want to see him sure up to consistency, but people said the exact same thing about Josh Allen.
Yeah, it's
franchise.
You've sold me on this. Like, there's one guy you can reason in the first round, and it's Malik Willis, and the Commanders need someone.
There is
So
one
bad.
like top 10 franchise quarterback in the draft is Malik Willis. I mean, you'll get holy smokes. How do you drink that loud? That's nuts. Malik Willis is the only guy with that elite traits to just to make it happen. And I love the pick. I think they need to take a quarterback. Minnesota, go get some Gardner. Passing on George Karlaftis again. Said could go Karlaftis, but I like Gardner more. Yeah, I mean, Gardner
need both spots, right? And who's like going to be a better player in the pros? Ahmad Gardner could very well be an All-Pro. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, I love Ahmad Gardner. If it wasn't for just like a physical juggernaut, Derek Stingley, this dude CB1 and a top 10 prospect. I think we both have him in the top 15. Dude's super physical, has great range. I think he's gonna run better than people worry about his long speed. I'm not too concerned about it, especially because like a guy like Jalen Ramsey who might struggle with the long speed. If you have the ability to only let the receivers run as fast as you let them with that physicality, I love it. 13, wide receiver 1 on my brother's board, Chris Olave. I have been watching wide receiver film and how to better evaluate wide receivers. And the more I watch it, the more I like Chris Olave. Because, I mean, what do you talk about? Like Cooper Kupp, he didn't run anything. He wasn't like a phenomenal athlete. Devontae Adams wasn't a phenomenal physical athlete. I'm saying Chris Olave has these traits. But just like the ability to get open, sit in zone coverages and find space, create separation quickly with your footwork off the line of scrimmage. And Chris Olave has all of that. I mean, he's the most polished guy. He's the most consistent guy. He all-around wide receiver. I mean, Garrett Wilson has those physical, like, wow factors. But, I mean, Chris Olave, dude, he is so good. And he's going to run fast.
Second, all of that.
Baltimore gets Jordan Davis.
I knew this one was going to make you sick.
Is this a predictive, or is this like you think they should do this?
Well, it's predictive. I'm trying to predict what's going to happen.
Oh, so it's predictive. You wouldn't actually do this if the Ravens.
The Ravens pick big physical D line. Like that's who their D tackles are. If you think back to everyone who John Harbaugh's had, they have big, heavy, like true nose guards, and that's Jordan Davis, and he is arguably the best at what he does than we've ever seen. We've ever seen.
Yeah,
he's like really good.
And Marcel Darius.
So Baltimore needs to replace Brandon Williams, who's like, oh, don't give me Marcel Darius, who's once he got his contract, it was over. But
hey, it was kind of a lazy ball. Yeah, okay. I mean,
they need Brandon Williams is gone. They need a hammer inside, and I think they're gonna end up. The more I watch Jordan Davis, the more I think everyone else is like nuts. So
Jordan Davis,
he's so good.
You won't be able to sell me on Jordan Davis.
Yeah, because you're not
Tyler Linderbaum. Yeah, I mean Tyler.
Casual.
I'm not. I mean, like the dude plays like 40% of the snaps, and then the other 20% of the snaps he's on field for his dog.
Slower in the league. If you ever watched the NFL versus college, like get with the program once.
I mean, Tyler Linderbaum. All right, whatever.
I get. Yeah.
Houston acquires 2 picks. I love it. They go get Garrett Wilson. Yes, I love that. They best available wide receiver on the board. Probably best available prospect.
I said best available player. That's what I had. If I did my big board, he's best available.
I mean, if you're rocking with Davis Mills, like you got to give him some more help than what he was. I mean, Nico Collins was like his second receiver on the year.
It's not even like has nothing to do with fit because they should just be drafting talent because they could draft anything.
Yeah, that's true. But Garrett Wilson's a great
You'll
pick
see
there.
the next.
Yeah, Tyler Linderbaum. Yeah, I mean, he's
available.
Tyler Linderbaum's a guy, whoever gets him, I will not complain unless it's like in the top 5. I mean, it's just the guy that you immediately upgrade a position. And like, there's not many opportunities in the draft you get the chance to do that. Tyler Linderbaum is a guaranteed upgrade at the position. He probably might be the best center in the league first year. I mean, this dude's incredible. 17, Chargers, Perrion Winfrey.
It's a tough one.
That's my
This is another one that I'm like, man, this team's probably going to want a right tackle is my thought, but who are you going to justify at this spot?
Yeah, no, I agree. There's it's really funny because there's after the 3 tackles, you probably go top 5, top 7. There's just no tackles that you feel comfortable taking until maybe outside that 25 range when Raymond,
exactly.
Ryman, or Trevor Penning maybe. But yeah,
Nope.
it's just Perrier Winfrey, man. I love him. I think this dude's a dynamite prospect.
I think he could be really great. Yep.
Yeah, he's got the most juice at that interior spot. I mean, this
May
dude's get
need
off
it.
his
I'm
nuts.
pretty
The
sure
length is good. The power is good. And he
I think
makes
they're
people
losing
look silly
Linval,
with
so.
the athleticism. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Those interior guys. He was just the Senior Bowl was bonkers, man. I don't think he lost a single rep all weekend. Saints at 18 go Dax Hill. If you guys watch us, you know we're Dax Hill fans. I think quarterback could be in the range here just because you're not going to be able to go sign a free agent because you just don't have.
I just can't justify I can't justify anyone else besides Malik and.
I don't mind the Kenny Pickett.
Where are you going to go? I don't know.
But now with Sean Payton out
guess.
the door, with Sean Payton, it's maybe a little bit harder to justify because you see Kenny Pickett come in and maybe able to run that Drew Brees offense. Playing in the dome, so you don't have to worry about the small hands and the weather. Or wideout, like maybe Drake London, Traylon Burks.
See, I figured this is going to be a team that's going to win with defense, and like their defense is awesome. But they're
not signing Marcus Williams back maybe because he's in the free agent portal.
I was thinking,
yeah, they won't have the money. Or I don't know if they have the money. I mean, they just absolutely. I mean, the Rams are going to be in a similar spot in a couple of years where it's like you just kind of sell out to make it happen. And New Orleans had a couple good runs, couple cracks at the Super Bowl, didn't really make it happen. But like now they're kind of just screwed.
I mean, could they be like in the Jimmy Garoppolo market?
No, they can't. They can't. They can't afford it. They legitimately can't afford the free agent quarterbacks, which is a damn shame because they have a good team.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think they could end up cutting Michael Thomas. We'll see. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe clear him off the books and you have a shot. But they're losing.
I don't think he wants to be there anywhere. So.
No, he doesn't. I don't think the Saints want him either. So I think he'll be a guy on the move. Philadelphia go get Devin Lloyd. Love the pick. They need a linebacker. I'm not optimistic that they'll draft him because they haven't really prioritized that position in the past. But I mean, Devin Lloyd is a clear LB2. Very, very high on it. The only pushback I get on drafting a linebacker in the top 20 is I think there's some really good linebackers in that day two, like late day two range. Channing Tindall, Christian Harris, Brandon Smith, Brian Asamoah. So it's like is Devin Lloyd that much better than those guys?
Think those two. I do think they've pulled ahead a little bit.
I agree. It's a clear LB1, LB2. But then it's like, would you rather go get a Drake London to help Jalen Hurts out, or would you rather go get some like a Jordan? Well, you took.
They need their alpha dog in there is kind of what I think, but
yeah, I mean, I agree. And having a middle linebacker who can be an eraser. The analytics say no. Like we saw the Rams. I mean, they're playing with like undrafted free agents at linebacker, and they prioritize the important.
Yeah, but nobody else has the defensive line that they have.
Yeah, but that's because they prioritize it. They paid for it. They went out and paid. They put all their money into Jalen Ramsey, Aaron Donald, Von Miller in the trade. And Leonard Floyd. Like they put all their money there, and then the linebackers are just little legit undrafted free agents who are making it happen. Like you have an easy job as a linebacker.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. The Rams now I'm thinking about it, they made a really strong argument to maybe like just scrap the LB.
Linebackers.
Scrap them. Yeah. Going on to pick 20, the Pittsburgh Steelers go get Kenyon Green. Offensive line needs just so much help. They go get the best offense lineman on the board.
The more I look at this, I don't know how he ends up falling. Like that'd be such a gift to Pittsburgh if they could get him.
Yeah.
Like
we both got top 10 grades on him.
I kind of think like could LA get him? Could Denver take him? I don't know. There's like a bunch of Baltimore could take him. So
Dallas could maybe take him. Dallas actually might take if Dallas trades
jump up to get him. Yeah.
I mean, Devin or Kenyon Green is
he's good. He's really good.
Outside of Linderbaum, he's by far the next best interior offensive lineman.
Yeah, so I'd be kind of surprised if he made it, but maybe not by far. He made it here. So
yeah, no, I like it, and I think it's a great fit. And you can certainly see a guy because you know what they say about interior linemen, like you can find guys late day 2, early day 3 who will come in and be able to start too. I mean, maybe not get quite the play Kenyon Green does, but like. A guardy is pretty much plug and play. Like you don't need to be like.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
So maybe he does fall to 20, and I think that'd be a great pick for the Steelers. The Patriots go get Jahan Dotson, a guy that Bill Belichick. I mean, I've seen a lot of our commenters say that Drake London reminds you of N'Keal Harry. And so maybe they back off a little bit on the big guy who might not be able to create separation. I think Drake London's a better prospect than N'Keal Harry.
My thinking was Jahan Dotson is exactly what he kind of had at Bama with how he kind of operated. Like he wasn't throwing a ton of deep balls, but
create separation on the intermediate.
Dotson, I think does everything well. So I think he runs well after the catch. I think he's probably the best of the Burks, Jameson, Drake London. I think he's the best there.
I don't hate that take as Jahan Dotson maybe being the next best all-around wideout. And to feel like the Rock Boys, that's kind of what we value. Like what the kind of wide receivers we like are guys who are able to create separation off the line of scrimmage with really good feet. And Jahan Dotson is one of those guys. Drake London.
If the Pats were like take the whole team and have it the same, but had Josh Allen instead of
then maybe you go Drake.
Mac Jones, maybe you go Drake or Burks. Is kind of my thinking.
Yeah, Treylon Burks, I'm just not sold on yet. I haven't seen like the polishedness that you see in Dotson. And quite frankly, Drake London's also like, I don't think he gets enough credit for being like a really good separator. And everyone's freaking out about Drake London and his ability to. This is a horrible comp. I'm gonna say it anyways. Cooper Kupp ran didn't even go sub 4.6, like really slow 40, and that's why people backed off him. I mean, everywhere he went, he dominated, but people backed off him because of the slow 40. I mean, he's just the best wide receiver in the league right now. So maybe Drake London's 40 time isn't as important. But anyways, that was a little bit of
game speed still slow, but
Jameson Williams to the Raiders. I like
if they get him, they're going there. They love it. They love the speed.
Well, it's a new regime though. No John Gruden, no Mike Mack.
That is true. But
it does kind of fit like
Al Davis or the son. But.
That's true. They've always, back to like our first couple of drafts following, like Darius Hayward-Bay from Maryland, I think, was just like a flyer. That's all he could do, and it took him in like the top 15.
Big old reach on him.
Do. Arizona goes against Roger McCreary. I'm a Trent McDuffie guy. I know. I am a Trent McDuffie guy. I think. Well, I don't even know, dude. I like Roger McCreary too, and what you just said, you were kind of dumping on Jalen Ramsey last night, which I didn't appreciate because like there's something to be said about a guy who goes and follows wide receiver ones and goes head to head, and that's what Jalen Ramsey did. Yeah, you're gonna get beat sometimes, and Jamar Chase is a top 5 wide receiver in the league.
Sometimes.
He got mugged one time, just mugged. Well, so that was,
Jalen Ramsey good, but like I think everyone's got to slow down with best in the game. That's crazy.
I don't, but the thing is, he does what you want. Like a guy that you value, Roger McCreary, who goes and follows the wide receiver ones. That's what Jalen Ramsey does. Most good cornerbacks these days just play one side of the field and don't necessarily like. I miss the Darrelle Revis days where you go follow the alpha and go toe to toe. Like we don't see that anymore. It's just a lack of pride maybe from the DBs.
Yeah, but McCreary does have the traits. I just loved what he did in college. I also think he's sticky. But
yeah, that's what I like. Just like the competitiveness and the stickiness to play man coverage and go toe to toe. Like the John Mechie film, man. I've watched that game multiple times. I'm just super impressed with what he did. Yeah, he got beat a few times, but he also was very, very good most of the game. There's a reason they only scored 10 points in regulation. Maybe I just sold myself on Roger McCreary. Maybe a little bit slower and short arms, but the dude's a baller at the SEC level.
The short arms, who cares?
I worry more about Trent McDuffie now that I'm talking it out a little bit because it's he wasn't tested once. The Pac-12 was a joke the last 2 years, an absolute joke. Anthony Brown stinks. So it's when was he ever tested? I don't know. I like pick. Talk myself into it. I'm a Roger guy. The Broncos, that's via Dallas, correct?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, you're good. Karlaftis. Pair him up with Bradley Chubb. I like it.
I think at this point they're taking kind of best
value
available.
Pick. Yeah. If you get Aaron Rodgers, get the best.
They also do
best
need another guy. So, yeah.
Man, though, if they have Rodgers by draft night, Drake London still on the board.
I have trouble visualizing where Karlaftis ends up early, that's maybe a topic for somewhere. Maybe a topic for your mock draft when it comes out.
Yeah, I mean, I like Karlaftis at places like Minnesota.
I just think if you are
Philly.
picking between Gardner and Karlaftis, Gardner is the better pro prospect in my mind.
Yeah, fair enough. Moving on to the Buffalo Bills. They go get Trent McDuffie. You got to capitalize the D there. That's crazy. Disrespectful to Trent McDuffie. Perfect fit. I mean, we're keeping the defensive staff.
Fit.
Zone coverage scheme. Trent McDuffie just absolutely thrived in that. Again, the worries I said with Roger McCreary, they stick with Trent McDuffie. Worry about him being tested by the elite guys. That being said, I mean, the numbers were just off the chart. The Rock Boy fans know how much I'm impressed with Trent McDuffie's numbers. Targeted like 30 times, only gave up, I think, 11 catches for like less than 50. It was like bonkers stats. I got to pull that stat up because I've forgotten it. Like to pick. It's dynamite pick. I'd be very happy with it as a Bills fan. Tennessee Titans go get Andrew Booth.
I think I do like him. The Titans need a corner, and I don't know. I think he's. Who are you taking at corner? Who are you taking?
It's not even it's not regard. I just don't know if I'm going. The Titans are tough because it's just
such a hater.
It's not even. I'm not even hating on Andrew Booth as much as it's like the Tennessee Titans are so close, and you really just think it's a Ryan Tannehill player or like this quarterback away. What they were able to do with having nobody healthy.
Picks.
And I mean, he took care of the ball most. Ryan Tannehill is not a quarterback you want leading your team in January. That's my take on it.
That's probably true.
So it's just like it's like all this stuff. Yeah, he just doesn't get it done when it matters. But you're not going quarterback here for the Titans. You kind of have to rock with Tannehill and just try to build the most elite team you can around him. So
I think you could argue for a wideout, but I don't know because there's good wideouts now on the board.
Man, Treylon Burks, AJ Brown, Julio Jones, gross. That's so good.
Yeah, I don't know. I like Booth.
I mean, probably one of the best prospects available. That's fair. Maybe I don't hate it as much. Tampa Bay goes Treylon Burks. A lot of question marks with this Tampa Bay team. We're both under the impression that Brady might come back. Maybe you get Burks in March. Be like, hey, Brady, we got Mike Evans. We got Treylon Burks. Come back to Tampa.
If he comes back, Godwin's coming back, I think, maybe.
Boys are back. Treylon Burks. I mean, I'm more of a Drake London guy.
This is such a tough pick for Tampa Bay. I just don't know where they go. Do you do? If Brady doesn't come back, you don't have a team. You got it.
Yeah, that's true. And they lose.
So I kind of think he's like a good player, good value.
I think it's Zion Johnson from BC with Ryan Jensen, a free agent.
Yeah.
Could be a look. But, like, is a center gonna – Zion Johnson is more of a pick if you have Brady back. And it's like you just need one more piece to kind of put you over the edge. I don't know if the Zion Johnson, if you're trying to kind of get a rebuild going, which I don't know if they'll go straight rebuild, but without Brady.
Oh, there will be rebuild in a half if they don't have Brady.
Yeah, so maybe you go get a wide receiver who has top 10 ceiling. I mean, very similar to DK. It's like the size and speed is just super intriguing, built like a house, really good after the catch. You just maybe not as polished as you'd like. And we're seeing that rear its ugly head with DK with the inconsistencies. But, I mean, I think anybody in their right mind would still take DK at the top 10 pick.
Yeah, and I don't think that's all his fault because they've had inconsistencies everywhere.
The Green Bay Packers go get Drake London.
This if A-Rod doesn't come back.
Yeah, give Jordan
Now
Love
that I've put Aaron Rodgers in the – well, because Devontae Adams is not coming back.
Yeah, no, he's not.
Rodgers goes, so.
I don't think Devontae Adams is the biggest story of the offseason, I think.
He'll be back if Rodgers is back.
Maybe, yeah. But he's he's legitimately the biggest. He's the biggest question because Devontae Adams is legit the best wide receiver in the league right now. I think maybe Cooper Kupp would have an argument, but I mean, wherever he goes, that offense is going to get legit. Yeah, that's I don't mind that though. Get Jordan Love a big target who can go up and make some catches. Miami, Zion Johnson, I like it. I mean, they just need
best O-line available.
desperately need help on the offensive line. It's unfortunate that there's no tackle that I think maybe Bernie Ryman, maybe. But you got
it's like, but you need everywhere, right? And
yeah, go get a lock.
And he's the best.
Go get a blue chip. Yeah,
is my thought.
Yeah. Kansas City, Kyer Elam. Yeah, I
best cornerback available.
I love Dax Hill here. If KC gets Dax Hill, I think that's
Dax Hill's been picked.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, this is like the pick that as a Bills fan, maybe I hope they don't get him, but I think this might be the one for them. Like, that'd be a really, really good pick. Trying to think of some other prospects that I might like.
They need help in that secondary. God, that's bad.
I mean, Dan Sorensen, you just can't watch him go play football again.
Tyrann Mathieu
Jaquan Brisker
might be heading up on his.
Tyrann Mathieu. He is a free agent. So Jaquan Brisker could be in the discussion as well. Cincinnati Bengals, go get Bernie Ryman. My only pushback on this pick is you need a tackle now. Like, you need a tackle that can start week 1 next year.
Yeah, where are you gonna go for that?
I don't know. Like, trade this pick for like a Laramie Tunsil. I'm mocking that. I've already determined I'm mocking.
That's fair. That
because Bernie Ryman, as much as I like him, and I know you've put in a lot of film hours on Bernie Ryman, like, I don't know if he's ready. He still needs some work on that frame. Like 6'6", 300 pounds flat is like, you got to fill that out, and he's doing it. I mean, he was 240 pounds 2 years ago, playing tight end. So this dude's floor is dummy though. I think he will be a very good tackle. Yeah. Yes. Oh yeah. Sorry, ceiling. Yeah. Big time. I was gonna say the effort. Lane Johnson vibes from Philly. They were both tight ends in college. Yeah. Long, good athletes. Just got to fill out the frame. Good. Detroit Lions. Christian Harris. I love it. I love that pick. I think, again, if somebody like Dax Hill is on the board at this point, I think it's a surefire pick. Christian Harris is the best linebacker available. Again, the pushback would be, can you get a little better value with a Brian Asamoah, Channing Tindall? Maybe. Well, I don't know if they'll fall outside because they pick. Yeah, I don't know. I like the pick. I mean, he's one of the best guys available.
I really like Christian Harris. I actually think people are way low on him.
My only problem is, like, I didn't see the consistent play that you would want. Like, Nakobe Dean, Devin Lloyd, they were good every week, like dominant every week. Christian Harris, you saw some, like, are those instincts there? Is the processing there? Because there's some times where he's just slow to the football. But when he's playing with good instincts like he did in the national championship game, man, that dude's a freak.
He was so good. He's really good down the stretch.
He made some money in that last game of the season when all the nerds were like, why are these guys playing in the national championship? One, just don't get college football. Two, like, these guys can still make money. Christian Harris made money. He was very, very good.
Trayvon Walker definitely did down the stretch.
No Trayvon Walker in this mock, by the way. Dill's not a Trayvon Walker.
Well, you know I'm not a Trayvon. DeMarcus Walker 2.0.
Yeah. This honestly, I didn't hate this mock. I thought I'd hate it a lot more because we don't see totally eye to eye on some of these picks. But, like, this was a solid mock. I think the question marks I have is I like bold mock drafts. I like bold mock drafts. It's a bold pick.
That's a bold owner. It's traumatized.
It's a bold owner and maybe a reckless owner. And that's a reckless bold move.
He's like a tiger in a corner. He's fighting. He's clawing. He wants Super Bowl. He's got to win it before he.
Let's just call it out as that dude is not looking too healthy. He's got a couple more years.
He so badly wants to win in his lifetime, and he's kind of got a shot right now.
Jerry Jones gives me big Sith Lord vibes. He's just in the press box looking like death.
And then he'll come start just saying things like, "Oh, that's a pathetic performance out of my team."
Yeah, I think his biggest flaw is he's trying to GM that team like he knows a darn thing about football. Which is
for sure his big flaw.
The thing is, if I buy a team, I'm hiring myself as GM, 100%. We're running this thing maybe right into the ground, but that's the whole point of buying a team is I wanna have a say. I think it'd be pretty lame if you just bought.
Yeah, I actually think he's Yeah, I think he's like gets a bad rap, but the team's talented
And the team's good. I mean,
I don't
it's
know.
hard to have a consistent playoff football team, and they're consistently like in the playoffs. I mean, they don't perform well in the playoffs, but like as Bills fans for 25 years of our lives, like it's hard to make we hadn't made the playoffs in like what 17 years. Like it's hard to do, but he does it.
And
I mean,
yeah,
he's consistent.
he's willing to go big or go home.
Yeah, and
Sure.
that's what you want out of an owner. Yeah, go ahead. Hey, appreciate the mock. Appreciate y'all for watching. This was this mock draft 1.0. I love it. Appreciate y'all for rocking with the Rock Boys. Again, hit that subscription button if you like the content, and we'll be back with more content later. Peace, y'all.